Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. We've got Anthony Martin writing in, one of our longtime viewers, and often has some really great feedback and points to consider. And Anthony's writing in about the Nikon 200-500 versus the Canon 100-400 Mark II video, where we were discussing the differences between those and which one's a better value, etc. Anthony says, I don't believe that less than $1,400 Nikon 200-500mm is superior to the $2,100 Canon 100-400 Mark II lens. I remember there are two versions of the Canon 100-400. The original with the push-pull design and the newer one with the traditional twist zoom. The new 100-400 Mark II is a very nice lens with lightning fast AF and small MFD, like 3 feet compared to 7.2 feet on the Nikon. So that's a good point. And great IQ. The Canon has a magnification of 0.31 times, while the Nikon is a 0.22 times. The Canon will make a great close-up lens for use on butterflies, bugs, etc. The Nikon cannot compete there. Who cares about having effective 750mm reach if the image is not sharp? One simply cannot go by blanket specs when making a decision like this. Also, while I know you have tested the Nikon, the 200-500 from Nikon, I don't think you have ever tested the newer 100-400 Mark II from Canon. And no, you're correct, I haven't. The 200-500 Nikon was designed to compete with the $1,000 price level 150 to 600 millimeters recently released both by Tamron and Sigma. These are not sharp at 600. The lens is slow compared to the newer Canon. It is slow also compared to the $1,200 Canon 400mm f6 prime, which doesn't have image stabilization, nor is it anywhere near as sharp. The Canon 100-400 Mark II is at another level. In terms of wildlife photography, the lens makes the larger difference in results over the body. Any advantages imagined in the Nikons over the Canon bodies will be lost by putting that heavy 5-pound 200-500 on the camera. If the user wants to compare close-in price systems, he should look at the $1,200 2.8-pound Canon 400mm f5.6. While this lens doesn't have IS or VR and isn't a zoom, it is a professionally sharp lens with superior build quality to the plastic 200-500 Nikon or the third-party 150-600 by Tamron and Sigma. I have made many tack sharp images with it in spite of it not having IS VR, which is making people downright lazy these days. These lens makers are offering reach as the prime attraction, but in reality it's better to have a critically sharp lens with fast AF. Get the image and then crop. The crop from the 400mm to 500mm field of view will result in a superior image than using an unsharp, slow to AF lens at 500mm. Plus, you aren't lugging around any extra weight to do that either. I can tell you who will get the better results after lugging the two setups around all day in the hot summer. Ha! Great feedback. Thanks very much, Anthony. You make some great points here. The one point I would quibble with you on is I have shot the 200-500 and I think it's pretty darn good for image quality and performance at the 500mm range. I was very impressed. It's a great performing lens. However, you make some excellent points here, and thanks very much for your well thought out response and writing in here. And what do you guys think? When you're hearing what Anthony has to say about that, do you agree with Anthony? Would that sway you more towards the Canon lenses? And does this make you want to consider that prime? Because that's a great option. Anthony's pointing out a really good option there, that 400mm f5.6 prime. Prime's always going to be sharper, almost as a given, almost every time, than a zoom. Let us know in the comments below. Let us know what you think of Anthony's feedback, and let us know what you would shoot with. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon here at artoftheimage.com.